GoGreenway.com. Find a John Deere lawnmower, Gator, or 1 to 4 series tractor that fits your needs best. Choose from our extensive selection of implements and attachments to add to your new John Deere. Select terms for down payment and trade-in. Finance
Some good classics right there.
Wow.
Get the exact Greenway price instantly.
Wow.
Visit GoGreenway.com to build your own John Deere today. GoGreenway.com.
All right, let's do this thing. You know, it's a Wednesday. Every other Wednesday or so, we have discussions here with our good friends from GoSEMO Fiber and SEMO Electric about all sorts of things, from scholarship to safety to, you know, things that are going on in the region. And today is no exception. Becky running the Facebook Live camera over here. Hi, Becky. And, of course, Lloyd Rice standing here. Lloyd and I are going to chat about some things.
Absolutely. Good morning,
You've
Reed.
been jotting notes.
Notes. I was on vacation last time. We sent the IT nerds over. I hope that went okay
You know
for you.
what? Great guys. Great guys.
We let them out of the cave.
I know. And it was, well, they had some really good information, too.
They do. Really
You know,
good.
some,
Really good.
you know, little troubleshooting tips.
And oddly enough, Reed, you know, we all give them grief because there is that component of our business that it does all have to start at that one piece of equipment, the modem in the home.
Sure.
We call it the ONT, and most of the time that starts with the rebooting.
Brute by Fabergé.
Rebooting, yes. Reboot of that, just power cycle that, let its head clear, and it's basically a little computer, no different. So
sometimes it just needs it. Sometimes we as humans need a reboot.
it does.
Say
But
hi
anyway.
to Gina on vacation.
Hey,
Yeah.
Gina, happy vacation week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, have you? Hey.
Hey, I am
Hey.
noticing over here, Reed, you've dug into your parents' record collection here.
Actually, that
Buck
would be
Owens, Roy Clark.
selections that the Blonde on the Pond brought
Nice.
over.
Ronnie Millsap.
I know.
That I can remember as a 7-year-old jumping on mom and dad's bed
Yeah.
down in their bedroom to Ronnie Millsap.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know
Don't know
why
why?
that just hangs there.
Well, you know, Ronnie Millsap, this goes back into the probably late 80s or so, but he was one of the many performers over the
Absolutely.
years at rodeo.
That's right.
In fact, I still got my autographed picture of Ronnie Millsap somewhere in the house. So, you know, a little side
I
note
would
there.
say other than Smoky, I mean, you know all the songs when they come on.
Gosh, yeah. But the big hits for them back then.
Absolutely.
Stranger in
Very
My
cool.
House, Smoky
Very
Mountain
cool.
Rain.
So Rodeo Week, Reed, runs right in your lane and our lane. We
Sure.
love that.
We're all going to be
that-
out there together.
That local thing that the rodeo is, because it's too big to put just one demographic or one specific
Agreed.
charity or one, you know, how many things have the JCs used that fund for over the years? I mean, you're talking Little League, you're talking Little League football, Kenny Rogers Center. I mean, the list goes on. And for us to kind of get to be able to sponsor this year at a little more intimate level, it's been really, really neat for us too. Apart from maybe the Lambert's waitresses could be the best week in sightseeing.
Right? I tell you what, it's such a big deal. And lots of people, now let's talk about this too. I mean, lots of people are going to be coming in.
Oh.
You guys have Wi-Fi hotspots all over.
Saw horse trailers this morning. It's
Yeah, I mean,
already
they were
happening. Yes.
Pouring in yesterday
Yes.
when I was out there on the ground.
Crazy.
So a lot of people are going to be on the system. So, you know, that a lot of people
Yep.
on the same grids can slow things down sometimes.
I know the JCs spent some money this year to upgrade. We'll collectively call it, like, because everyone else does, right? The Wi-Fi system.
Sure.
So that situation, and it's always tricky when you go from 0 to a couple of thousand people in an area, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a closed, and it's tough. No different than when you go to Busch Stadium or
That's right.
any a concert venue. So I know they took some special care.
Yes,
we
they
got the police set up the other night. They've got their little place on site there, and it's just to be able to kind of tap into that and have a little stake in it. It's really neat.
Now, aside from rodeo and everything else, you guys are continuing to sign people up for
Continuing.
all services.
Reed, we're closing in on the end of our fiber project as within our electric system. Okay. There's always places to go, and we've got projects picked out for building off system. and some other things in the hopper. But our system build, effectively, as far as mainline construction, starts to wind up probably in September in that Wyatt, Wilson City area. And we're really encouraging any of those folks over there that are served out of those substations to give us a call, go online, go ahead and start that sign-up process. You're early, you're ahead of the game, you're still about a month away from having light finished in the area.
Sure.
But when it happens, then we give you the contact. We're going to do 2 selling days over there in September, one on the 16th and one on the 30th. We're going to spend some time over there at the junction or there in Wyatt somewhere to kind of, that's going to effectively wrap up our fiber build on the GoSEMO Electric territory.
Okay. In other words, you've encompassed the infrastructure that that you have.
That's right.
Now it's a matter of the ones that haven't signed up yet.
It
what
is,
are you
right?
waiting for?
And you know what? We talk about not necessarily Wyatt and Wilson City, but we go down to, help me out, Becky.
Wolf Island?
Wolf Island.
Yeah.
Our Wolf Island substation. We've only got about 6 or 9 pre-registered down there, and that means they've went on site and expressed interest. But that's I'm going to get the numbers messed up, but there are several $1 million being invested in that area in fiber broadband access. And the reality of that is, as an electric co-op, when you do it, what you do for one, you do for all, right?
Sure.
And that's kind of the beauty of it, Reed. Do you think there is any provider coming to the Wolf Island substation area? I mean, it just was not going to happen. And that access down there, I guess that's a way of your electric co-op stepped into and filled a huge void in the area.
Well,
and trying to do that whole humble brag thing, Reed, but it's really expensive, it's really time consuming, and it is a major undertaking. And when they're, again, 6 or 9 passings in what I would say is a $5 million project down there alone, you kind of do the math on that. And I just encourage everyone, if you are a GoSEMO Electric member or can take the service, to check that out. I mean, we want to get everyone on that we can, because it really does, Reed. It spreads that cost out. It's rural electrification.
Keeps the money
all
local.
over again.
Well, and yeah, okay, so there's limited people down there, and especially since 2011. Because we all know what happened back in 2011.
Right.
That being said, there's some major farming operations there. Story Farms and some other entities that are down that way. Maybe this is a step going forward that somebody might want to look at. So, well, we've got a good electrical infrastructure back. We've got a good broadband and all the other infrastructure back with our Wi-Fi and our fiber, GoSEMO fiber. So maybe we take a step down there.
Well, Reed, the river operation down there alone
is
one of the most impressive facilities. The Fitzgerald,
Marine
down there, and I'm telling you, you tend to drive by it. Forget about it's not the right word, but you know what I mean.
You take it for granted.
You take it for granted. Great point. And are they growing any better soybeans on the planet than down there? So we just, again, want to really take an opportunity at this point to express our thanks to the board of directors, the team at the offices, obviously, but gosh, Reed, we've got contractors out there that are trimming trees, doing some really nasty hot work.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
The Highland cabling crews are climbing poles and stringing wire every day. The team back behind the phones. This thing really took on a life of its own, and it's just been a great journey as we kind of wrap it up here.
Well, and and I'm not going to give a plug to certain this and that's, but they, it is what it is. You see commercials about bundling,
right?
High flow.
Yeah.
That being said, you guys have those. So, I mean, okay, maybe you haven't switched and put your phone into your GoSEMO fiber yet.
Great point, Reed.
Maybe you're just GoSEMO fiber and you haven't done, an upgrade with this. However you want to do. Maybe the cable's not there yet. So you can continually upgrade if you just have basic service.
And would expect that you need to as your kids head back to school. We got you connected up in the spring. I mean, it's going to be another one of those funky school years, isn't it, Reed? There's going to be a lot of online tablets going home, and the ability for you to do that in rural southeast Missouri, again, I'm just you end up in that take it for granted mode, obviously,
Yes.
but it is a really big deal. And to be able to step into that and participate, it's really, Reed, we've got 10,000 total services out there. Now, we count our TV, phone, and
Sure,
internet.
all of it.
Within that, we've got 6,700 people, right at about 6,700 subscribers online. And that doesn't necessarily mean a lot, or, it's just a number. I could have said 15,000, right?
Right.
But it's really impactful in that we're ahead of projections, which tells us things are going right. The area needed this, and that is, again, what makes it work. Because of the service areas that we can serve now,
Right.
we want you to be a part of it. It's really good.
Well, and again, if we learned anything from the Cocoa 19 and the pandemic things and lockdowns and all that from last year, was the need. I mean, it really brought to the forefront
Absolutely.
the need to have these facilities up so
Right.
that we can get the services out there.
Huge announcement, Reed, about infrastructure, and of course we've heard that
Sure.
for the last 3 years, and we're still waiting on a check ourselves. I'm kind of laughing at that. If you've been in on any of the inner circle, you'll appreciate
Sure.
that. But yeah, when it happens in southeast Missouri, holler at us.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it's kind of okay. And
Hey, we're from Missouri. You got to show us.
me.
Yeah.
And again, I hope it does, Reed. I hope each and every one of rural America, especially rural Missourians,
Yes.
West Tennessee, West Kentucky, Southern Illinois, I hope they get a chance to experience what we've been able to provide, because it is the right thing to do at the right time. And
I totally agree.
our board was just ahead of the game. And again, applaud them for saying, you know what, it's really expensive. We may not all see exactly what you're talking about, but let's do this thing because nobody else is coming.
Well, now that we're getting to the final construction stages, like I said, now it's about upgrading and seeing those people there.
Right.
And like you said, working on side projects now, looking to see
right.
where you can expand the service. Where is there a need? Can we fill that void?
That's right, little donut holes we call
Yeah.
them, and they are, Reed. They're scattered around the territory.
Yes, they are.
Right here in and around East Prairie, we get calls, and we want to serve those areas. It's kind of
There's
like your
red
mom
tape.
would tell you. There's red tape, and it's just a matter of money, right?
Yeah, red tape, bureaucracy.
It's only money.
Yeah, that's all. Here we go. Well, look, I know people that are using it now that are, and it's just like anything else, weather can disrupt things.
Sure.
A fiber cut here or there, a wreck into a telephone pole.
Right, right.
You're always going to have that. But in terms of overall reliability,
Yes.
Unless it takes out the fiber, you don't have the cloud just went over the house and I lost my satellite signal.
You know
or
that,
anything like
Reed,
that.
and one of the major providers in this area spent several days the past couple of weeks with a major outage, and we're scampering around making sure everything's in place, because you never know what's really going on out in the World Wide Web.
That's
that
right.
could affect you locally.
Sure,
and
it goes downstream.
And it does, and we seem to be up and running, and things were going well. The phone traffic really started to pick up, and
Now, Murphy
again,
and Karma stay
no
away
question.
right now. We're talking good. So stay
no
away.
question. And again, the one thing you can count on, Reed, is you won't have a crew that's any more jumping into the deep end of the pool to figure
That's
the
true.
task out
That's
and
true.
answer the phones and do everything we can. Sometimes it overwhelms us for a while, but we will get back to you. We promise. Becky's team rarely goes home at night with anything left undone, and it's it's part of the deal, right? I think
It's your
about
commitment.
That's right. That's right. And so we spin that all back, pivot real quick to rodeo week, and Reed, our thing is local. Parade season's coming up. We're going to be right in that mix in these local parades. We know about Blodgett coming up, Advance. We love doing what we're doing as part of the electric cooperative and GoSEMO fiber. And this type of week, rodeo week, and our participation and what goes on there, Reed, that's the why, right?
That's
you
right.
spin it right back to the middle of it, and that's
And
the why.
And I want to throw this kudo out to you guys, because sometimes you take for granted to get overlooked. When you go to the stream on the new shotgun.
There you go.
97.1.
Perfect. Yes.
It's powered by GoSEMO
Right.
fiber. There to our tower, which is just south of Sykeston on, that 97.1 FM signal. The app is powered, it goes downstream.
It does.
So everything is powered, and it's powered by GoSEMO fiber. And we thank you for that.
Excellent.
Because it's crisp and clean with a little caffeine from time to time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We crank it up a little bit, right?
Just a little bit from time to time.
Reed, and that's what we'll do as time goes by. As our system got whole, we knew we would probably take our lowest tier speed, crank it up a notch,
Sure.
and that's coming at some point. And it's just stuff we're able to do because we're the electric co-op. We're a not-for-profit entity operating in the area, and that's just the stuff you do as part of it, right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Awesome. Heat safety, folks, be
Yeah, real
careful. Go ahead and turn your air conditioner up if you can afford it. See, I'm joking. Yeah,
No, but honestly, but we do need
Yes.
to watch that. I mean,
Yeah,
there's a demand right now.
Yeah.
But if you need to stay cooler, knock it down a notch or turn it up a notch.
And that goes for our workers, our construction guys, because we've had a pretty good year. I'm knocking on wood in that regard, right?
Sure. It has been a quieter,
Quiet-
definitely severe weather
Quiet
season.
southeast
for sure.
Missouri, right?
For sure.
And we were just talking about the tornado in Dexter. Oddly enough, in July, it's that
And it
doesn't
happens, but
happen,
yeah.
right? Your electric provider. Speaking of SEMO Electric, the system is hardy. That we're ready. This is
That's
the
right.
stuff we get prepared for. Weeks like this, weeks like back in February. This is why we do what we do.
And surprisingly enough, just real quick because we're getting crunched here at the top of the hour, but surprisingly enough, when you leave your thermostat alone,
Yes.
your house
Great
is much,
point.
but don't
Great
bring it
point.
up, bringing it down.
Yes.
If you have some ceiling fans,
Yeah.
run them, circulate that
Absolutely.
air. It helps. You think, well, that's just an extra thing that's running. It's really not.
It's really not, and it's so subtle and minor. I mean, Nest thermostat, and I'm not branding it, but programmable thermostats, awesome investment in your home.
Sure.
No matter the size, no matter how you're
That's
running
right.
that, it's just a right and good thing. Check into that.
When
Yeah.
you start riding them up and down, it makes
Exactly
it work
right.
a little harder and back, and you actually will tax the system a little bit more. I
You
keep
do?
mine on a solid 70. I have an all-electric house,
Right.
Everything, and I'll be honest with you, it's actually cheaper for me to run air conditioning like this
It
during
is.
the summer hours
It
than
is.
it is to
Same.
run the heat.
Same for us.
Yeah. There you go.
But again, be careful. Keep listening to the radio here locally, because again, you impact a lot of things in doing so. Your sponsors appreciate it. They all get it, Reed, and we
Well, we
thank you
appreciate
for
you
getting
guys.
to come over and share into it.
I look forward to it every other Wednesday, and of course, I'll probably see you at the rodeo grounds here this week
Absolutely.
as well.
We're going to sweat, get our boots dusted off, and
There you go.
do a thing.
Lloyd and Becky from GoSEMO Fiber and SEMO Electric. It's our Wednesday chat here on Just Another Morning Show. And